I left my keys on the desk. That's what I told my newly ex-boyfriend in a text the day I moved out. He was at a mansion pool party in Palm Springs with all of our friends. I was busy shoving clothes into garbage bags and trying to decide which pieces of our joint furniture and artwork I could get away with taking. I decided on all of it because he's a bad person who deserves to sleep on an air mattress in an artless hole of a room and eat frozen meals off of paper plates. I took his beer, and I took his whiskey. I left his Le Creuset kitchen collection because there are rules. I'm not a savage. He cheated on me at his friend's wedding in England that I couldn't attend because I was too broke and he wouldn't buy me a ticket.
Oh.
She was a librarian / aspiring burlesque dancer whose Instagram feed consisted mainly of inspirational platitudes and cups of coffee. I found out about this because he told me when I picked him up from LAX. So we broke up. 3 years of my life wasted. And of course, I was the one that had to move out because my cocktail waitress salary couldn't sustain our beautiful 1920s apartment with all original hardwood floors and sweeping views of Melrose Hill. I signed a lease on the first studio I saw, and I moved so quickly I ended up leaving behind my birth certificate. I also left the keys on his desk, or so I said. I did leave a set of keys on the desk, just not my spare set, which I put in my glove compartment. Why, I don't know. I'm not crazy. I wasn't planning to use my spare set of keys to break into my ex-boyfriend's apartment in the middle of the night. And I didn't, for about a month. As I brooded silently in my 400 square foot shoebox of sadness, he scored free concert tickets, got a promotion, and lied to his friends that I dumped him. You know, because breakups are fair. I continued to look at his Instagram feed every 2 to 3 hours. And at one point, I noticed a photo that indicated that he was in Iceland with the girl he cheated on me with. A quick survey of friends confirmed that this was in fact the truth, and it was just over a month after our breakup. I tried to continue my life as usual, but I was a mess. Work was impossible. Twice in the same week, at my waitressing job, I accidentally threw a guest credit card in the garbage, which is not something that should ever happen. I've never felt so vacant and distracted, so it should come as no surprise that at this time I also lost my keys. It was 1 a.m. I was alone on the street in downtown LA. I rarely lose my keys, and I had not made a spare yet for my new apartment, so I didn't really know what to do. My new building was so shitty, I didn't actually have an on-site building manager, and there was no one that could let me in at 1 a.m. So I dug around my bag, and I was surprised to find that I actually had a spare key to just my car. No thanks to my own organization, just in the chaos of moving, I had happened to throw a random key in my bag. I tried to sleep in my car, but in downtown LA in the middle of the night, you can't sleep in a car. Cops come by and ask you if you're okay. Weirdos come by and beat on your window with a cane. People scream, sirens go off regularly. Cars are cold and tight, and they smell like the inside of your shoes or Taco Bell. I texted everyone I could think of. Hi, I'm locked out of my apartment. It was 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, and no one replied. So I sat, and I sat. Why I didn't drive to a safer neighborhood and sleep there, I don't know. I work at a hotel. I could have just booked a room. In hindsight, these solutions make sense, but at the moment, all I could think about were the keys in the glove compartment. He's in Iceland, according to Instagram circa 3 days ago. I drove to his apartment. I considered on the drive over that he might be back, but I rationalized that if his trip began on Saturday, he would likely be taking this week off. Still, when I got to the apartment, I knocked to make sure he wasn't home, as if it would have been any less awkward if he was. And he wasn't. I put my key in the door and it didn't work. Was it a faulty key or had he changed the lock? I thought about leaving, and then I remembered where he keeps the spare. Sure enough, it was there, and the next thing I knew, I was inside the apartment. The inside of my ex-boyfriend's apartment looked like a life-size diorama entitled Miserable Bachelor, Low Expectations. To the extent that I was living in a closet eating raw kale straight from the bag, he's living in a one-man frat house with a cheap Craigslist couch, empty top ramen containers collecting flies, and mail strewn all over the floor. I gave myself a quick tour. He had a nice new bed, memory foam, but still no kitchen table, and there was one towel in the entire apartment. He had replaced the beer and whiskey, so I took a swig and I cracked one open. I couldn't relax. I felt stiff and sad. I was exhausted, but suddenly I couldn't imagine sleeping in this place. I laid in the unfamiliar bed and I cried for a minute. What was I doing? I tried to sleep on the couch, but I was suddenly overcome with the fear that I would leave one of my hairs behind and he would know I was there. I tied my hair back in a bun and I laid in a mummy position with my hands across my chest so I wouldn't be able to move. I took photos of where the accent pillows were placed so I could leave them in the exact correct position. Even the accent pillows made me cry. They were so ugly and depressing. How could he let me go? I have amazing taste. I would have given him love and understanding and expertly decorated homes for the rest of our lives. The fact that I now owned all of our nice furniture and artwork was no consolation. I missed him. I was that crazy person who broke into my ex-boyfriend's apartment while he was having the time of his life in Iceland, wearing the Patagonia fleece that I bought him, having sex with a chubby British librarian. I ended up sleeping on the floor. The next morning I woke up, rested and uncaught. Emboldened by the successful completion of my mission, I decided to stay for a bit. The sunlight was pouring in over Melrose Hill and he had Wi-Fi. I hadn't had time to set up the internet at my old place and I had a writing deadline. I opened up my laptop and another beer. And as I finished my spec, my computer crashed. Knowing this had to be my personal rock bottom, I just laughed. And I logged onto his computer. Why not, right? What do I have to lose? I'm vaguely drunk at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Everything is fine. I completed my work, trying and failing to avoid reading his G-chat messages, which kept popping up in spite of me. As I emailed off my final draft, I noticed a message from his coworker, dated yesterday. It said the worst thing it could have said. Safe travels back. See you soon. Shit. I rearranged the accent pillows, I disposed of the beer cans, I was about to leave, and his spare key was nowhere to be found. I searched and searched, and after an hour of searching, I thought, screw it, he won't notice, and he'll never be able to pin it on me. As I walked out the door, I glanced at the coffee table and noticed his full set of keys. Car keys, office keys, everything. He was planning to use his spare to get back in. I had to replace it. I ran down the street. I had his full set of keys in my hand. Having already lost 2 keys in the past day, I was clearly flirting with disaster. I ran and finally stumbled upon a locksmith. I made 2 copies of the key. I ran back to my ex's place, freaking out. He could be home by now. I imagined having to tell him the whole story. He would be shocked, then he would laugh, then he would apologize for everything and invite me out to pizza. I would tell him to fuck off and thereby regain my dignity. But that didn't happen. Instead, I took the 1 key and I put it on the ledge where it belonged. And the second one I put in my glove compartment.